Here's my DL650, and one thing I am going to be doing to this bike, because the rear tire is pretty worn out, I am going to replace the rear tire. And I'm going to show you how to do it, but I'm not going to replace it with just any other motorcycle tire. I am going to replace it with a car tire. Replacing it with a car tire means that you're going to the dark side. So I figure I'm going to try it out and see how it works out. It doesn't sound like a great idea, but I did ride Doug's DL650 with a car tire, and I didn't think it was that bad, so I'm going to try it out. And the reason I want to install the car tire is mainly to know exactly what's all of this about, and I'm hoping I'll get higher mileage. Like this only lasts me like 10,000 miles, so I wonder if I can like push the car tire to 20,000 miles. So we'll see. If I don't like it, I'll just reinstall a motorcycle tire. It's no big issue. So this is the car tire I am picking to put on the DL650. It's a Comp 2 AS Goodrich 205/50. I checked with Doug from Utah, and he recommends this. This is the one he uses, so I'm going to install it. And of course, I'll probably do it myself. The first thing we're going to do is put the motorcycle on its stand, because we need access to the rear tire to remove it. So right now it's on the rear stand, and we're going to remove the rear tire. That you have to do to remove the tire is remove this cotter pin right here and then this nut, and we're going to do that now. Now we have to remove this. So you're going to need this 15/16, a big wrench like this, and probably some leverage like this, so you can really, remove it. Now it's usually on pretty tight, so I usually put this on here. Make sure I hold on to the. That actually was not as tight as I thought. Alright, so you got the nut and then the washer. Set it on the left side. We're on the right side of the bike, and we have the axle, and now we just have to pull it. It's tight. Just kind of twist it like this, and it'll come out. And once you remove it, the wheel is going to drop, but you still have to remove the part of the chain. So the shaft drive is like this, and it's got this plate for adjustment. Just put it on the right side, and now the wheel drops. We have the brakes. I usually just put them like this, and the brakes are okay. They're actually a little worn, but I think I'm probably gonna order new brakes and put them on. So I'm just gonna rest this right here. It's on the, don't let this just kind of suspend, just rest it on something for the brakes. Now, we have to go to the other side, drop down. And one thing that fell was this. This is pretty important. It goes on this left side, and it's a spacer of some kind for this, so for the axle. So I'll just put it there, and now I'm gonna remove the chain. I push the wheel in, and I just removed the chain, and now this is another spacer. It goes on this side, and now we're going to remove this sprocket. Alright, so lift this up, inspect, make sure everything is good, and yeah, it's got like the rubber, everything looks pretty good. I'm just going to put this aside here. Out of this valve. This is the valve tool I'm going to use to remove the shredder valve. And what you do is you just take this, you put it here, and you just unscrew it, and a lot of air is going to come out. It's going to rush out. There we go. Here's the rim. Just put it like that. And here's the tire. So as you can see, this tire is pretty much gone. And it's pretty old. I mean, I got it last year while I was riding cross country. And I was worried that it might not actually make it cross country because I only had a little bit of a tire. But it's a Trailmaster. Shinko Trailmaster. So that's trash. It says rotation. This is the rotation, so we have to mount it this way, going that way, and it's a pretty wide tire. So the sprocket. So the tire goes like this. So I'm going to lay this down like this, and I'm going to put it like this. One of the things I noticed is that the tire, the car tire, it's got a mark here, which I believe is the balance. And what people tend to do, what I've heard and read, is that this valve should be aiming up for correct balancing. So I make sure that this is the left side where my sprocket is, because it's got the cush drive. And I'm making sure that the direction is going with the wheel, with the arrow. And now I'm just going to mount the tire. Hopefully it's going to be an easy thing, but I hear this is a very difficult tire setup. I'm going to take this and just kind of push it down. Come on. Alright, so that's just one side. Now we have to flip it to the other side. Make sure that this is still registered. This looks like it's going to be super difficult. Well, here's the progress so far. This is in, this is out. And this is very difficult. I think I might need some extra pair of hands. Hey guys, about to embark on a pretty long journey to test out this dark side tire today, and I'm riding 2 up. So starting in Silver Spring, Maryland, and we're gonna see where we end up. This was my first initial ride on the dark side tire, and I got to 450 miles or so. And why a dark side tire? Like, a dark side tire is a car tire on a motorcycle, and that seems very unsafe and very silly to have. But what I found out on this ride is actually it's not that bad. And on this ride I was going to either really like this tire or really hate it, and I ended up liking it. In low speed turns, it's actually a little bit hard to turn. On these sweepers like I'm doing on Route 33 in West Virginia, it's actually fairly okay. I was not confident enough to push it even more, but when I was looking at the tire, there was quite a bit of tire that I was not using. So a lot of these people that tour would benefit from this motorcycle, this car tire on a motorcycle, because it's got so much wear. When I rode cross country, I had to change the tire twice, but if I had this car tire, I would not need to, change it at all. And this is how I got the idea. When I got to Utah, I met Doug, and Doug had the same setup. He had a DL650 with a car tire, and he let me ride his motorcycle. And initially that was a little bit of a weird feel to it, but that really goes away once you kind of get used to it and you realize how much you can lean and all of that. I made it to 450 miles with this tire, and it was okay. It wasn't as bad as initially what people have been saying. It doesn't feel dangerous at all. Like, you can still have a lot of feel for the road. So if you want a tire that gives you a lot of mileage and still gives you the ability to kind of go around turns fairly well, this could be it. This could be a great tire for touring riders or commuters and some like weekend riders. But I think if I was to keep this tire on, the thing that I would do is buy a set of rims just for motorcycle tires, so I can go out on the weekends and ride a little bit more aggressively, and then keep this tire on for riding, which is like 70% of the riding that I do, commuting and touring. So for commuting and touring, this tire is perfect. This setup is perfect, because a lot of the times when I'm commuting, I put a flat spot on the tire because you're just going straight.